Hello everyone, it's Barbara Ann. Welcome back to my channel, Straight Out of Context. Copyright disclaimer. Under the Copyright Act of 1976, I am within my full legal right to share these following clips via video and audio. The following creators allow reshare, redistribution, and download of their content, and as always, I credit in the description box down below. Fair use, public domain, TikTok third-party license, and TikTok Live automatic third-party license for the use of commentary, reaction, teaching, news reporting, research, comment, and criticism. I am legally within my basic human, civil, and constitutional right to share under the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. To share my expressions, views, thoughts, opinions, feelings, and critiques. The First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution guarantees my freedom of religion, freedom to exercise of, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, free assembly, and the right to petition the government and air my grievances. The First Amendment does not cover lies that amount to defamation, slander, libel, harassment, stalking, cyberstalking, bullying, cyberbullying, threats, or any other verbal crimes.
She taught me how to be a good liar, a very good liar without any conscience. Honest, my attorneys, even that, I haven't been completely honest with them.
That's absolutely correct. Mommy unaliver, co-conspirator, accessory to her first-degree premeditated homicide of her own mother, thrower under the busser, the person who said it was karma that his mother died by overdosing because of what he did to her mother, for her, psychopath, sociopath, narcissist, pathological liar, grifter, scammer, con artist, fraud. The person who took the life of her mother and shows no accountability, no responsibility, no remorse. The person who shows absolutely no sympathy, compassion, empathy for anybody other than herself and her own false victimhood and narrative. The end-all, be-all, perpetual victim of a fairy tale story of abuse that never even happened. Gypsy Rose Blanchard has pulled a Britney Spears 2007. Yes, she has shaved part of her hair off. Even though she posted this to her private TikTok or Instagram, her friend used it and leaked it.
But yeah, I was gonna say, no, my eyebrows they don't grow thick because I had been in prison, it was a stress kind of thing that I'd shave them off. Because it's when I would cut my hair with nail clippers and stuff like that, I always had a thing of hair. So when I'd be stressed out, sometimes I'd pluck my eyebrows with a tweezer and then mess them up and then be like, okay, well, screw that. So I would just take a razor and just shave them off. I think after so many times of doing that, now they just grow back wompy. And a lot of times I have to use an eyebrow pencil because they're just not thick.
Oh yeah, mine either. You know what?
It takes 36 days for them to grow back. I have learned that.
Castor oil is really good for that. By the way, it's really, really good. I can even tell a difference. And you can even, when you buy it, you can get it with a wand. You can even use it for your eyelashes. And but it's really, really good. Mine are like that too. They're very thin. They've always been I have a decent shape, but I've never had to pluck them or wax them ever in my life. And I wish I did. I would rather have
You're lucky.
really have thick eyebrows. But
Really?
no.
Yeah,
I
well, I
wish.
can because I can shape them. I like my eyebrows to go thick to thin, thick to thin, thick and.
You see, look, everybody in the comments are saying, "Yep, castor oil. You should get it."
I'll try it. And I'm going to get you, whatever color your eyebrow is, I'm going to get you the kind of eyebrow pencil that I use. And I use Charlotte Tilbury. It's expensive, but it has the best, precision and blend that, I've tried all kinds of eyebrow pencils. And Charlotte Tilbury has the best, in my opinion. I'll buy you one. Whatever eyebrow color you are.
You roboting,
to get darker than I don't usually. Definitely not blonde. Wait, what?
I know you roboted a little bit.
I'm sorry. No. Why aren't we showing our faces? I look a hot mess. I just finished cleaning. I'm about to go take a shower. But but yeah, I wanted to get that one on TikTok, the ones that have the but I already know I'm gonna suck at it because I tried it with that beard thing. The thing that has those like, it has like the, I guess the teeth in or whatever you want to call it, like to make the shape of the eyeball. It was like a trend. It was like trending on TikTok Shop. But I bought that beard one, that one that's like that, and I don't know. I do pretty good with like a one with if it's got a small tip. But yeah, I've never tried. I've heard of that one before. I think I've seen people like try it on TikTok videos and stuff. I feel like you do your eyebrows very well. I remember when you first, came out and you were like, you've come so far with your makeup. You do it really good now. I mean, not that you've ever done it bad, but you know what I mean? Like, you can tell that you've gotten so much better. I always tell people that practice makes perfect. Because after I got married, I stopped wearing makeup. I really did.
Hey everybody. So I am almost 4 months postpartum, and I think I'm experiencing postpartum hair loss or thinning. And so I've started to notice when I style my hair that around my temples I'm starting to get like just really fine baby hair, but there is a breakage, lots of breakage in my hair, and I've noticed a lot of shedding in the shower. So I kind of looked into it, and it's really normal postpartum. So I just want to start with saying this is not a sponsored advertisement. This video is nowhere near any kind of sponsorship. I don't get paid. I bought this product myself at the store. So this is what I'm going to start doing. So I am going to start using hers minoxidil 5%, and I think this is the foam. So I got that. I'm going to start taking biotin. And then I also have hair thickening shampoo with biotin, as well as the conditioner. So I'm kind of hoping that this will kind of rejuvenate my hair a little bit better. Ever since I cut my hair short, I kind of just noticed these things a little more. Or maybe, the shedding and the hair loss has been more recent. So I've heard a lot of good things about biotin. I've heard a lot of good things about hers. So I'm hoping that this works. I guess I'll see over the next 6 months. So in 6 months, I will tell you guys my results if this stuff really does work. Like I said, I don't know. This is my first kid, so this is all very new to me. So let's hope that it works and my hair will be thicker and fuller, and less shedding. So let's pray. No, I'm not pregnant. Why do people keep saying, am I pregnant? I'm not pregnant. Am I gonna grow my hair back out? Yeah, I will. I'm not gonna constantly dye it anymore. I'm not gonna keep dyeing it blonde or anything like that. I'm gonna keep it brunette. I'm just gonna grow it back out. God, it was so long when I first got out. When I first got out, it was so long, so beautiful, and it had not been bleached, it had not been dyed. It was so pretty, and I want to get it back to that length again and that level of health. It's cute short. I will say that. I do like it short. I do have to style it a certain way to keep it cute, because it's one of those hairstyles that you have to style it, and if you don't, it just looks messy.
After the whole salon-centric debacle, Gypsy Rose Blanchard came to her TikTok to respond to a comment, clapping back, showing off that her hair was not fried or damaged. Another lie, another inconsistency, because Gypsy claimed her hair was not damaged at all. Yet her friend Renee came to the internet to post this video where I'm going to share a little clip under fair use. And just in case you don't catch it, she claims Gypsy shaved a lot of her hair completely off because it was fried. Meaning that when Gypsy came to TikTok to tell everybody and clap back that her hair wasn't damaged, it very clearly and obviously was and is. In fact, we knew that because she deactivated her Instagram and her TikTok. She really stopped fucking with her hair as far as dyeing it and bleaching it, dyeing it and bleaching it, and then started using hair extensions and hair pieces. And that wasn't very long ago. But under fair use, this is what her friend Renee had to say on TikTok. Keep in mind that video that I just played for you of Gypsy saying her hair was not damaged.
Do y'all not hear how that sounds? Some of y'all are obsessed with her every little move. Are y'all really that hard up for content? Gypsy got a pixie cut because she said her hair was fried. That's all there is to it.
Gypsy and her friends cannot keep the lies straight at all. She sat there in a whole video, her own content on TikTok, trying to convince us that her hair was not damaged. Clearly, Gypsy likes to play with sharp objects and scissors. That, or she had a problem with head lice. I don't know which one it is, but I certainly know that it was after the age of 15 years old when Gypsy and her mother started shaving her hair and claiming that she had cancer. But going back not very long ago, the whole salon-centric thing, Gypsy then says this. After dropping over $400 at a salon-centric, she says, just celebrated being blonde and noticed this. I'm going to have to go back to brown to fix this. Why would you have to do that, Gypsy? Why not just go get it fixed? Oh, wait, that's exactly what she did. She paid a couple $100 more and went to a salon and ended up like this. So that right there was already about $800 to $900 that she dropped on absolutely fucking nothing, just to turn around and do this the very next day. Yep, you guessed it. She box dyed it brown. And this is how her hair has been since this whole debacle, and this is what it looked like when she tried to convince us all that it wasn't damaged or fried. But with the multiple different CPS calls and allegations of speeding, not buckling Aurora, the substance use, with Into the Weeds podcast releasing all of her prison emails, just celebrating her 34th birthday, it's no surprise that Gypsy decided to deactivate her Instagram and her TikTok account. But that has not stopped her from wanting to control the narrative on the internet and social media, because she is still leaking things to her friends to put out by proxy for her. Nobody is making her shave her hair off this time. This is one thing she can't blame on Nicholas Godejohn, Stephanie Goldhammer, or Claudine Blanchard. And I really don't know if she can blame this even on her micro deletion. Since she was released on December 28th of 2023, Gypsy Rose Blanchard has changed her hair at least 2 to 3 times every single month. After the salon-centric debacle, she changed it over 4 times in 1 week. Even the best professionals in the world would tell you not to dye your hair that much. Ever. And she has gone back to blonde a dozen times, if not more, since being released. She's also really big into self-tanning, cosmetic surgery, cosmetic dentistry, playing dress-up, copying her half-sister Mia, and wigs.
Well, my hair is short, and so I really kind of wanted just long hair for the shoot. My hair is shoulder length, and I just didn't see a way of styling it that I would be happy with.
She even had her friends put out videos saying that the only reason why she decided to wear a wig was to try and disguise herself, which is about the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because Gypsy cannot disguise her face. A wig just goes over a top part of your hair. It doesn't change your face. It doesn't change your eyes or your voice or your height or your shoe size or anything else. I don't understand why she would think that wearing a wig would disguise her. And Gypsy Rose is one of those people, just like me, who look absolutely atrocious as a blonde. It just doesn't fit. And the one feature that Gypsy had really going for her is that she has naturally dark, beautiful, thick hair when it's untouched, when it is healthy because it's untouched. Since being released from prison, Gypsy has done nothing but mess with her hair. In fact, she's come to TikTok on live panels talking about how in prison she would get stressed that she would shave her eyebrows or she would try to cut her hair. Yet, if you look at pictures of her while she was incarcerated, her hair was healthy and growing. Now that she has the motive and the means and the access, she has done nothing but botch her hair over and over again.
Well, Gypsy Rose went full on Britney Spears and shaved her head. Well, at least part of it. I'm not sure if this was halfway in or if this is the final look, but either way. And if you remember, a long time ago, early 2000s, why did Britney Spears shave her head? Well, it's because she had a court order to give a hair follicle test. This was during the custody battle with K-Fed and all that. And this is about the time she started just going fuck. Here's my initial theory. Remember, not too long ago, there was the whole live fiasco where Ken was clearly playing in the snow. I mean, he was like an Olympian skier. And he was telling us that CPS came by, they requested a hair follicle test. They took one from Christy and from GRB. It was all over some rug accusations, supposedly towards Christy and GRB. Ken wasn't even involved, yet he offered and they accepted. So everybody was negative and everything was in the clear. They even got a letter from CPS that a lot of people think was doctored. It was compared to other letters from the state agency, which is actually DCFS, and it just looks a lot different. There was misspellings and grammatical errors, I believe. I don't remember, but it looked bunk. GRB not being one to shy away from falsifying medical and other important documents, maybe, just maybe, this one was one of them. Anyway, my point being, what was the reason for all of that? Why would Ken just offer up that information? I mean, nobody was asking. Maybe overreacting. After all, GRB does like to change her hair almost weekly. But what if they knew that a test was coming? They knew that there was a court order they were possibly waiting on, and this is the prep for it. Ken recently shaved his head. He has been keeping it very short. And now GRB is following suit. What if that whole story was concocted for when the real news hits to say, oh yeah, we already responded to that and it was negative. Yeah, that's old news. Or it could be nothing. It could be GRB having an identity crisis. Again, what are your thoughts?
I'm going to take a moment to throw it to my sponsor, EcoStash. You can go to www.ecostash-organization.com, Amazon shop EcoStash, or Amazon search EcoStash. Use my discount code 20EcoStashC. That is all capital letters, 20 ECOSTASHC. As you know, I have worked for over 18 years on genealogy. I have worked on my own family tree for over 18 years and have over 3,000 names verified. But I also have another passion, true crime cases, the human psyche and human behavior. I do a lot of research when it comes to true crime cases, verifying, corroborating, writing down facts, verifying those facts, and even writing letters. So when I came across this product by EcoStash, I was more than thrilled. It is a hanging filing cabinet, but that's not the best part. It can also be used in a traditional filing cabinet or a portable one. But that's not even the best part and my favorite part. If you love earth and you love to recycle, then you're going to love this because it's made out of wheat straw. Talk about sustainability. Wheat straw is a material that is recyclable, meaning it can be processed and used again and again and again after its usage cycle ends. This helps reduce waste and it also extends the material's life cycle, which is sustainability. They are more than affordable and they come in multiple different bundles and colors. It doesn't only help with function and organization, it's aesthetically pleasing, with a wide variety of colors and options to choose from. If you struggle with decluttering and anxiety like I do, you are going to love this product because it also expands to a very large capacity. Did I already mention that you can hang it, store it, put it in a box or a filing cabinet? And even better, it comes with labels and customizable labels. As a content creator who researches and writes a lot, this product has been a godsend. It has helped me turn boxes and stacks of paper into organization. It's not only helped me make sense and organize my artwork, my research, photographs, my children's school papers, but also my mind and my research materials. And it conveniently fits anywhere. I was able to turn that giant mess into this, which not only relieves my anxiety and my stress, it has helped me function better as a content creator who loves to research and write down everything. It's large capacity, it's recyclable, it's made out of earth-friendly materials, it comes in cute colors, it's extremely affordable. But the best part for me is it helps me to make sense out of everything from the past, present, and future that I worked on, am working on, and plan to work on. And that feeling of organization and decluttering is a great feeling. And I'm extremely proud and honored to say that EcoStash helped me get there. EcoStash. You can visit them at www.ecostash-organization.com or Amazon shop EcoStash. You can go to Amazon and search EcoStash in the search bar, and you can use my 20% off code 20ECOSTASHC. 20ECOSTASHC. All capital letters. Now, I have been offered about 100 different partnerships or promotions in the last year, and this is the first and only one I have ever taken because I use and believe in the product and the sustainability. That says a lot for me, but we're going to get right back into the video. Gypsy Rose, over a month ago, decided she was going to reach out to her old best friend, Rachell GARLICK. I have lightly covered Rachell GARLICK and the messages between her and Ken Urker after Gypsy Rose was released and the breakdown of their friendship. Rachell said that she had not seen this message because it must have went into a request folder. However, a couple days ago, she did see the message and this is what it said. It's sad that after all of these years, all I ever was to you and still am is dollar signs and clout. And that is why I ended our friendship years ago. I hope with this knowledge, you can reflect and see that. Rachell finally responds back saying, I have no idea what you are talking about. Don't make money off that stupid app. I hardly even post. That's just your response to everything you are blind to. The only thing I will reflect on is how terrible you have become. Why and how did you become such an evil person when you used to be so kind-hearted? You advocate for bullying and you are literally the biggest bully I have ever seen. All you have to do is see what you are doing. Apologize. And nobody would treat you this way. You are truly a horrible person now, Gypsy. And until you see that, your life will be defending yourself. I refuse interviews with tons of platforms, so you are fucking wrong. I have way more shit on you that I haven't shared. So you better check yourself talking to me like that. I'm praying for your self-reflection. I'm good over here. I literally told you on the phone I didn't want cameras in my face. So your accusations are ridiculous. Then she shares a screenshot of financial transactions to Gypsy. Gypsy responds back, Rachel, the only thing that I've ever done that is bordering bullying, and it's not even bullying whenever it's two exes going at each other back and forth on social media, was to Ryan, a man who, when I first introduced you, you called him fat and ugly. Do you remember that? Because I'm pretty sure it was in an email. And as you know, every single email that was ever sent to me or from me is coming out. Wait till they get yours, if they haven't already. And then you went on to tell everybody that he got fired for being inappropriate with a student. And other than my ex-husband, Ryan, who you yourself have bullied in the past, you even used to put up pictures of him calling him Peter Griffin, okay? So let's not act like you're better than me or putting yourself on a pedestal here. Last time we spoke, I thought we left on mutual terms that were pretty decent. I haven't spoke to you since because I was on parole, and any interaction with you, phone, text, or otherwise, was against my parole restrictions. If you forgot that little bit in the clause that says association with other felons is a parole restriction, the next thing you know, what do I see? Is you talking shit about me in videos and on panels on TikTok. Have you not seen the amount of hate and bullying that I receive on a daily basis? I get made fun of from everything from my hair to my weight to my voice to my eyes. You know, pretty much everything about me, and I rarely do anything about it. I made a parody video of some of the well-known content creators that have been bullying me for a year and a half and still continue to do it. So I made light of the situation. There is a massive amount of hypocrisy on TikTok. Did those content creators really expect not to get any sort of clapback from me? That they could bully and harass me, make fun of me, and then when it gets done to them, that it's not justified? The point is that 99% of the things that people say about me is not true. And the other percentage, I give a little leadway because I have gone back and forth clapping back at Ryan. Through the months, he says shit about me, I say shit about him, but we're exes, and that's our own thing. As for everybody else, I don't bother anybody else. I don't do anything to anyone. I'm the mother of a 7-month-old child. I am too goddamn busy living my life to care about these dumb fucks on the internet. They don't fuck me. They don't feed me. They don't finance me. These low-life pieces of shit will get their karma when they reach God, and it is only God's hands to forgive them for their sins. I'm sure you've heard about the billboard, the first one at least. How do you feel about them putting a picture of me holding my sweet baby girl on a billboard of hate and harassment? You're a mother. How would you feel if Nimmy was on that billboard? You say you never wanted to be in front of cameras, but when I called you to invite you to my release party, you told me I gotta clean my house to get ready for the camera crew. So you may not have wanted interviews, but you wanted to be on my show. Like I said, and I'll say it again, I know what real friendship is, and you were never a real friend. Go back to peddling, which shreds of any old friendship you had with me is left. I'm so glad I didn't give you my underwear that you wanted me to give you so you could sell it on the internet when I was still in prison and we were still actually friends. You were trying to mooch off me way back then, and you're trying to sell my panties on the dark web. Bet your TikTok friends don't know that. I'm sure you will post this message as you post every single message I've ever written you. So with that being said, Rachel, owe you nothing. I owe everyone else nothing. What I owe myself and the family I've created is everything. Have a nice life. Gypsy, you owe yourself a damn dictionary, girl. That's what you owe yourself. You use that there chat GPT for goddamn everything. You couldn't have it help you write a damn message that makes a lick of mother effing sense at all, girl. Rachel claps back. I didn't ask for your underwear. I don't even know how you get on the dark web, lol. I said a guy said he could probably do that. Yes, I'm going to post it because you continuously show what a terrible person you are. By the way, my exact words were, I don't want cameras in my life because I'm not cleaning my house. Then laughed. You can twist my words all you want. I don't give a fuck. You have never even said thank you for everything I did for you. Do you not remember that I turned down doing Cellmate Secrets by Lifetime because I didn't want to make money off of you? And I know they would twist the narrative to make you look bad. So stop acting like you are so damn special. I'd rather be struggling than constantly lie to people like you. And yes, I said Ryan wasn't attractive. Ain't even gonna lie. I thought that you deserved better, but now I think you deserve everything you get. I speak my piece and call you out when I know you are lying. Also, it's not cute that you are doing exactly the same thing your mother did. You have turned your life and your daughter into a cash cow. You advocate for nobody. You lie continuously, manipulate everybody, bullying people who go against you, and try to control the narrative. We see you, Gypsy. We see you. You are a terrible person who needs serious help. Get over yourself. Gypsy, you sold yourself to the devil for likes. She then sends her conspiracies video talking about the content creator parody that she did. And then she also says, don't do things for people to do this to you. Nobody does it to me. So who's in the wrong here, Gypsy? And this is where Gypsy claps back. I deleted my 9.4 million follower TikTok permanently and went private as people will allow me. Don't think that that sounds like someone who wants to get likes and views. Just saying. And as far as for advocating, I can advocate without posting it. It is possible to do something kind for people and not scream, hey, I helped this person. Not that you would understand that. Funny because she's under 9.4 million. In fact, she's under 903,000 over on Instagram. And I don't know who Gypsy is kidding here because all she did was create another TikTok and another Instagram. And she did not permanently delete anything. That is a lie. That is a lie. Prove it then, Gypsy. Permanently delete it and don't log in for over 30 days. Let's see you do it. Let's see you actually honor what you say you're going to do. Because I can guarantee one thing is for sure. Once you do that, you will never get that following back. Not even close. To sit there and say that she permanently deleted TikTok is a lie. What the fuck are we actually looking at right now? Gypsy Rose Blanchard on another Facebook account, which she made an identical Instagram and TikTok account and made it private. As private as people will let her. Well, you're using Sheena and Renee to actually leak videos and photographs because you can't tolerate the fact that people stopped talking about you or giving a fuck. That is when she started to clap back at content creators. For one reason and one reason alone, and that is for the fact that she wants to divert attention away from the emails and the CPS calls. Multiple ones. But because she said she went private over 8 times in a year and a half, she has to have a reason to actually come back. An actual reason to post something like that. So she has other people do it for her. In my opinion, Gypsy Rose Blanchard is the biggest troll of all. She's the biggest bully of all. To herself when she lied about her crime, her actions, her words, her choices, and behaviors. When you're a convicted murderer and you go on Lifetime, on national TV, on the internet, and you actually lie to people with a story that didn't happen the way that you claim that it happened, nobody can troll Gypsy the way that Gypsy has trolled Gypsy. Nobody has hurt Gypsy or bullied Gypsy like Gypsy has hurt and bullied herself.
An underrated pop culture moment of this week is Gypsy Rose Blanchard silently rebranding all of her social media accounts to be Blown Beauty Art, a place where she sells her paintings where you take a straw and you blow the paint around the canvas. I saw her post a video explain that art is her passion now and she wants to kind of pursue that, but then what followed was this whole rebrand. She took all of her Gypsy Rose Blanchard official accounts, turned off the comments, and changed all of the names to be Blown Beauty Art. She did it on TikTok, Instagram, and she has a Facebook for it. This was the video I was talking about, and separately, she does really look snatched here. Miss Gyp, go off. But she's of course displaying one of her paintings in the back, and again, this is a painting where you throw a glob of paint on a canvas and you take a straw and you blow it around. But if this is the passion project she needs as she's like taking care of her child, so be it. I know that she's had a hard time in the spotlight ever since getting out of prison and filming Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup, her Lifetime series, which, fun fact, I'm actually in. If you want to go check it out, I'm like in a few episodes. But I'm so dead at her like just using her own platforms and rebranding them instead of like starting over. I guess it's like smarter this way, but people, me included, were so confused when they started seeing this like Pixar logo that just says like Blown Beauty Art. Like, I didn't know what that meant. But if you are also confused and you're one of the 9.4 million people that used to follow Gypsy Rose Blanchard and are now following this random account titled Blown Beauty Art, that is what is happening.
In less than 2 months, I celebrate my 2-year anniversary in the Gypverse. I have been talking about her crime, her show, her interviews, podcasts, books, all of it, her actions, words, choices, and behaviors since October 12th of 2023. But I never thought that I would see the day where she was shaving her hair again. Because she can't just leave it alone. Do whatever you want with your hair. But this choice, this action, this behavior is very telling. So when people sit here and tell you on the internet, with their videos, with their short and long form content for 2 years. And I got to admit, this is kind of funny. Britney in 2007 walked so Gypsy in 2025 could run. You know what's funny is that Gypsy Rose Blanchard was giving Britney in 2007. This is not giving mommy dead and dearest. This is not giving Munchausen syndrome by proxy. This is not giving factitious disorder. This is giving participation. This is giving malingering. This is giving grift, con. Totally in on it. This is giving, I took the life of my mother to get out from under her control. All you had to do was stand up and walk right out. It's giving, I took my mom's life for sausage. Everybody already knows this, but Dr. Mark Feldman, he is an expert in factitious disorders. He has written multiple books. I have gone over that many, many, many times. You know how I like to beat a dead horse? I like to obliterate that bitch. Right here. He's even written a book. He has even done interviews where he has said that Gypsy Rose Blanchard shows a high degree of sociopathy. He has said that in no other case of Munchausen by internet, we've seen a case of this with differentially Kelly, who is Kelly Ronahan. She's a Canadian ballerina who for years documented on YouTube and other social medias her medical journey, her illnesses, her sicknesses, and coming from somebody who was born with a genetic connective tissue disease, and I have a very severe form of it, coming from somebody who has neuropathy, who is diagnosed with fibromyalgia, coming from somebody who has survived stage 2/stage 3 in depth and with cervical cancer. This to me is something that really just, right in the chest. It just really gets me heated. People that pretend to be sick for attention and money, clout, sympathy, fame. We've even seen another case with Alana Harris of Queensland, Australia, with her beautiful 2-year-old baby Daisy, who had 2 exploratory brain surgeries, and they found absolutely nothing. Nothing medically wrong with her. But what that doctor did do is luckily take biopsies, samples of urine, blood, and other tissues to finally nail her little ASS. Because she had been giving that baby medication to mimic seizures or a neurological disorder. Also, she can keep her TikTok fame, her YouTube fame. But there's over 360 million reasons why you should not ever accuse somebody of having Munchausen syndrome by proxy, whether they are alive or deceased, because that's exactly what happened to this registered nurse when her daughter truly did have what she thought was an autoimmune disease and was trying to find answers for why no doctor was getting to the bottom of why and what her daughter had and what was causing her chronic pain. She and her husband end up having their kids taken away, but what that hospital and social workers ended up doing was depriving that little girl of her basic civil, constitutional, and human rights, even to her right to practice her own religion. They perpetrated abuse on that little girl, thinking that that little girl was making it all up in her head, that her mom was crazy. Why? Because her parents decided to take matters into their own hands, their child's well-being and health and medical treatment into their own hands, taking her to Mexico, where a ketamine therapy was legally allowed to be done. They accused the mother of having Munchausen syndrome by proxy, took her children, and what'd she do? She took her life. They then sued for wrongful death, emotional distress, physical distress, all of it, mental distress, punitive damages, civil rights violations, all of it. And they won over $360 million. Not only did she, but her little brother got on the stand and testified and told their story. And it was so courageous to see them say how it doesn't matter what they get. The abuses that inflicted on them and causing their mother to take her own life because she thought, if I'm just not here, my husband, at least their father, will get the kids back. And not only do they not have to suffer any more further abuse, but the kids will be better off without me in the situation. They actually drove this woman to take her own life. A registered nurse who did not have Munchausen syndrome by proxy. That's why I say over 360 million reasons, because that's what they got. And that little girl sat there and cried and said, nothing, no amount of money will bring our mother back. The memories that I should be making with her, the memories I should have with her, the future that we should have, her and her brother with the mother in their life. They took that from her when they falsely diagnosed her with Munchausen syndrome by proxy. Now, the Kowalski family was almost awarded $400 million, but because of statutory caps for punitive damages, it ended up being about $261 million that they ended up being awarded out of almost $400 million. But this is going to be a huge lesson to every state, hospital, doctor, or social worker, or registered nurse that wants to falsely ever even utter in their own mind to their own self that somebody has Munchausen syndrome by proxy and they do not know for a fact and they cannot prove it. Because saying it isn't enough. Being suspicious is not enough. Claiming somebody has it is not enough. That in and of itself is defamation. But Dr. Mark Feldman has said that Gypsy Rose Blanchard is the only case where a supposed victim fought back and took the life of their abuser. Then you have to reevaluate if this is a case of Munchausen syndrome by proxy, because that doesn't fit. Gypsy Rose Blanchard and her case is not the exception. It's not the rule. It doesn't fit with Munchausen syndrome by proxy because we know one thing for a fact. Her mother was never diagnosed. So you cannot say, even after death, that she had Munchausen syndrome by proxy. That's not even a viable defense. But here's a question for Dr. Mark Feldman. How many people with Munchausen, malingering, Munchausen by proxy, or Munchausen by internet? How many people with factitious disorder or factitious disorder imposed on another? How many of them have ended up having a cluster B personality disorder? And the thing with cluster B personality disorders is you have to be honest and truthful to first and foremost be properly diagnosed. And people that are histrionic, borderline, antisocial, narcissistic, or psychopathic, sociopathic, people like that tend to not be truthful. There is no cure, and there's very limited treatment for cluster B personality disorders because there is no medication like for bipolar disorder or for depression or for anxiety that could possibly help treat that specific mental illness. Same thing with mental disability. That's a cognitive impairment. Those have no treatments or cures. Personality disorders in the cluster B range, clearly there are very limited treatments, and those treatments are intensive psychotherapy, cognitive behavioral therapy that takes acute self-awareness, that takes the will to want to get better, to really recognize what your symptoms and your behavior really is, to truly get a proper diagnosis and therefore work on getting better. How many victims have been in that range? That's what I want to know, because Gypsy Rose Blanchard shows a high degree of sociopathy and she lies all the time. Her mother wasn't living in the lap of luxury. She wasn't doing all of this stuff for herself. She wasn't some 40-plus-year-old woman just wanting to go to Disney. She was doing this all for her sick daughter. You could tell by her face that she had something genetically wrong with her. And guess what? Her mother was right. She has a microdeletion of a chromosome, a very rare chromosome disorder. You could tell by looking at her. And you could still tell right now that her behavior, her actions, her words, and her choices are reflecting 2007. She's literally shaving her hair to nothing. If Gypsy Rose Blanchard wants to destroy her body, her skin, her face, her hair, well, she has every right to do that. That's her prerogative. But what she's not going to do is sit here and lie to everybody and the internet again and again and again and get away with it. She's not going to sit here and tell everybody that her hair is undamaged and healthy just to have her friend Renee post a video saying that she only cut it because it was fried. And one of the hardest truths that Gypsy Rose Blanchard is going to learn is that the people closest to her friends, her family, her fiance, her baby daddy, and one of her closest friends are the people that are clout chasing. 9.4 million followers on TikTok, 903,000 followers on Instagram is not a commodity. That doesn't fuck you, feed you, or pay your bills. It doesn't raise your daughter. So the only person that has a psychological addiction to it is you, Gypsy. You're the one who is attached to it because it makes you feel validated in thinking that you're somebody. That you can go around telling your ex-best friends things like, I knew you were a clout chaser. A clout chaser for what? For who? A clout chaser for what? For who? You? A convicted murderer? A sociopath? A psychopath? A liar? I don't care if you are Lucifer himself or any of his generals and commanders for his 9 legions of hell. Having a large following doesn't mean shit when you do nothing with it and you don't know how to use it. It also doesn't mean shit when you got it simply based off the fact that people hate you. It also means absolutely shit when everybody follows you because you're a convicted murderer. You're known for something negative. All you've ever done with the Instagram and the TikTok was lie, use people, spread a false narrative, show no accountability or remorse, belittle and bash Nick, your mom, and his mother, Stephanie. Everything that surrounds Gypsy Rose Blanchard is negative, and she expects something positive. She expects to have a positive following that she didn't earn in a positive and organic way. Maybe that paradox, that karma, is the purgatory and limbo that Gypsy Rose has to live in every single day. Knowing that fame and clout and money is right there within her reach, but she's not good enough to have it. She's not good enough to keep it, and she's certainly not good enough to sustain it. So I'm not surprised by her erratic and impulsive behavior, especially when it comes to her hair. But the really sad part to me is that her hair is the one aesthetic thing that she really does have going for her. She has beautiful, naturally dark, really thick, gorgeous hair. The mental and emotional inability to physically leave her hair alone is what cost her the damage and her hair. People were telling her only 6 months after she was released from prison by the summer of 2024 to stop dyeing her hair and just leave it alone. But of course, she's not going to take any advice from anybody because what Gypsy wants, Gypsy must have. What Gypsy wants, she must get. When she has an itch of an idea that she might want something, she has to have it. It doesn't matter what it costs. It doesn't matter how she has to obtain it. It does not matter to her. As long as she gets the satisfaction of having the fulfillment of getting her way, of getting what she wants, she doesn't feel validated. And unfortunately, her mother had a role to play in creating that monster. And now she couldn't put those really expensive extensions in her hair either. The amount of money she has burned on her impulses must be in the hundreds of thousands. Don't forget to eat your royal mashed potatoes.
Call a spade, honey. Keep making content.
Sure thing, Buttercup. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your time. Please like and share. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button. I will catch you all on the flip side.